Hello. Once again, I welcome you all class 10 students in a video lecture on the topic decentralization in India. So first we have to understand that what is decentralization, why decentralization, what is its importance, and then the provisions of the constitution on this decentralization. When we are talking about decentralization in India, the first thing is why decentralization is needed in India. As we know that India is a country and the states India is the bigger country. India is a country of continental size, and the states of India, many states of India are so big, and these are more than a nation. So that's why it is very much important that powers in the states of India should be divided on the basis of governance, and the local self-government is important in different ways. The first, when the local self-government is practicing in a place, it can connect with the local people is in a proper manner, and the people of local, they can also connect with their local government in a very good manners. Then second, we can say that local self-government is fulfill the spirit of democracy, because it is very easy for the people that they can connect themselves with the government. They can connect with their local government for any problem if they are facing with in their survival. It may be the problems like waterlogging, the problems of garbage, the problems of roads. They can approach to their local government, and by this exchange of power, the democracy become strengthened. That's why the local self-government is called the grassroots of democracy. Then the next thing, that why at the time of what was the status of local self-government before 1992. So before 1992, the local self was in the state list. That's why in many states of India, they had the election of local self-government, but in many states they haven't any election for more than 20 years. So that's why in 1992, the need of local self-government was felt by the government, and it was made mandatory by the 73rd and 74th amendment. By this 73rd and 74th amendment, local self-government was strengthened. So now we will see what are the provisions under Article 73rd and 74. So what difference it brought after the new constitutional amendment. The first provision of this Panchayati Raj Act was it was mandatory for every state to hold periodic election of the local self-government. It means that every state will have election of local self-government after every 5 years. Then the second, at the local self level, there will be 1/3 seats will reserved for the SC, ST or OBC. It's depend on the population of that country, that state, and on the basis of that population of that state, the government will decide that how many seats will allotted to SC, ST or OBC, but on the whole it should be 1/3 of the total seat. Then under Panchayati Raj system, or it was also mandatory that 1/3 seat should be reserved for the women. Here I want to mention that in India no state election and the central election, it means the election of state assemblies and the Lok Sabha, have no reservation of women, but in the local self-government the seats for women is also reserved. Then there will be an independent election commission in the states. Here I want to mention that when we are talking about independent election commission in a state, this election commission is only for the election of local self-government. The rest, the Lok Sabha election in the state and the state assembly election in the state, will maintained by the election commission of India. At that, in those elections, the state election commissioner will help them, but local self-government elections will be managed by this state election commission, and the member of state election commission will elected by the competitive exams of that state civil service. Then there will be also a state finance commission. What is the duty of this finance commission? State finance commission will manage the revenue, and it will seek the need for how much revenue is needed for the proper completion of work. And here I want to mention that when we are talking about the power sharing, some powers from the state list will be allotted to the local self-government. So the state governments are required to share some of its powers and revenue to the local self-government. When we are talking about local self-government, it is 3-tier system. What are these 3 tiers? The first level is the election of rural or urban areas. It means that the election of Gram Panchayat or the municipalities. And when many villages or cities all together they create a block, so the election of blocks, panchayat samitis and all take place, and these elections is held by the maintained by the state under the local self government. Then we will talk about the election of Jila district, and that is the election of Jila Parishad, and the member of Jila Parishad will also elected under the local self government. Most of the member of Jila Parishad are elected, and some MLAs and MP are also the member of this Jila Parishad. They are also elected as the member of the Jila Parishad. Then we will talk about that the local similarly local bodies exist where urban, and on the same way the election takes in the village area and the municipalities in the urban areas. In village area, here I want to forget to mention about the Gram Panchayat and the Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha is consist all the adult member of that village, and the Gram Panchayats are the elected member of the village, and Gram Panchayat work on the advice of supervision of the Gram Sabha. So it is a very beautiful way of governing. Why it is beautiful way of governing? Why I am telling so? Because every individual can connect with the decision making and it feels the real spirit of democracy. So by this way the elections and the formation of local self-government take place. Then here I want to mention the new system of local government is the largest experiment of the democracy, because India is a big country and it has more than 36 lakhs elected representative. This number is bigger than population of many countries. So we can understand that it is a big experiment, but we can proudly say that it is a successful experiment, although it has some loopholes also. The constitutional status for the local self-government has deepened democracy of the country. It has also increased the participation of women, and this is the most important and good thing, that the involvement of women in the democracy or in the politics increase. At the same time it had some problems also, like it has problems of the fund, because while election held regularly and Gram Sabhas are not having their meetings regularly, most states governments have not assigned significant power to the local self-government. Some local self-government also faced the problems of adequate resources, but although we can say that it is a good experiment of the democracy, and local self-government should be work in the its best manner, that it can put a good example and the people directly can involve with the politics and decision making for them. That's all for today. Thank you.